Okay. Well, with that out of the way, I don't know what else to do. Let's have a look at the challenge hopper.
I had something.
You had something you wanted to do.
Yeah, I wanted to chat with the room for a bit, but I need something for this.
Oh, okay. We have a bit.
Hey, teens. Let's rap.
So you decided to ask Andrew a question.
There's your first mistake. What is up, teens and teen-adjacent friends? We've gotten a few questions from you, and over the last few days, and I figured we could take a minute to answer them. I think somebody's going to grab the thread for you there, Matt, so you can feed me the questions.
That would be delightful.
And for the folks in the room who may or may not have been here when this is a segment we were doing where we were trying to provide genuine and sincere life advice to the younger members of our audience. So I'm encouraging contributions from all sides, but it is less of a give terrible advice as a bit and more of a let's help people. Because, I don't know, I would have loved to be able to ask a bunch of cool older charity marathon people for life advice when I was but a lad.
Because truly, those are the people who most have their lives together.
Well, this has been Let's Rap Today.
All right, I do have some questions here for you, Andrew. This first one is a really good question. You were right. I'm going to put on my not me voice.
All right, what do you got?
Which is going to sound exactly like me. Hi, I'm in my second year of university and living away from home. How do you plan groceries and meals and stuff? I've been vaguely getting by, but whenever I sit down and have to plan what I'm going to make to work out what I have to buy for the week, I get overwhelmed. Is there a system that works for you? With winter starting in my area and having to walk to the grocery store, I'd like to try and minimize my trips.
Okay. That's a good question. I think there's a couple folks who'll be able to contribute to this one. I think it came up earlier when we were doing the scramble. Somebody mentioned meal planning with the Tupperware for that one there.
Yes.
Because meal planning and food budgeting is difficult. It is not just you. But batching it is definitely a way to go that will help with that.
Yeah.
So finding recipes that you like, that you are able to make multiples of, and depending on whether you want to have all of them that week or kind of space them out, you can throw stuff in the freezer.
Yeah.
Spaghetti sauce, for example, is quite a good one for that because it can just be a jar of whatever sauce you prefer, add some veggies, and add some meat if you're a meat eater. Make a decent chunk of it, more than you need as one person, and then freeze a bunch of it in individual portion Ziplocs or Tupperware.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something Meg and I do every week.
Yep.
We are not good at leaving enough time in the evenings to cook. And neither of us really wants to spend our evenings cooking. So on Sundays, we plan a meal for the whole week. And we will make an absolutely unhinged amount of something that we can make in a pot.
Yep.
And we just store it all in Tupperware containers for the week. And then every night from Monday through Friday, it's a 3-minute meal prep. All we do is we take out a serving of it from the fridge, throw it into the microwave, heat it up, and eat. And it's good. You can make 5 meals very, very, very easily. And as long as you don't get, don't make the same thing week after week after week.
Yes.
Make a different thing each week. But generally speaking, you can get through a week without getting bored of it.
Yeah.
And then, the spaghetti sauce, we keep a ton of spaghetti sauce in the freezer at all times as an emergency meal. If we're just too, no spoons to think of something to make, we always have emergency spaghetti sauce in the fridge.
Yep.
Or in the freezer, rather. One thing we have is we have this little silicone ice cube tray that has slots that are like 1 cup each.
Yeah.
And you just make little spaghetti sauce bricks.
Yeah.
And throw them in a Ziploc bag, and away you go. You're great. And they're just exactly one serving each, and it's perfect.
I've been doing one lately for salads because I make a lot of salads and I eat a lot of salads these days. So, like, first off, do a little bit of research, make an afternoon, and figure out which grocery store that you can get to is the most affordable if you're trying to be budget friendly. Like, identify where's best to go for which. Sometimes certain grocery stores will have cheaper produce, but they'll have more expensive in other areas, so you may have to kind of figure out what's best for what. But what I like to do is take one of those deli containers and I fill it with all of my chopped salad fixins, all of my vegetables. I usually throw a little bit of cheese and a seed or a nut in there, usually sunflower seeds. I put absolutely everything into this deli container except for lettuce. All the other bits, and you just fill it basically right to the brim. And then for the next like 2 days, anytime I feel like a salad, I just wash and slice a few leaves of lettuce, chop them up, throw it in the bowl, just empty a big chunk of the container on top of it, and toss it with dressing.
Yeah.
So it means that I'm eating salads constantly, but I only had to spend 10 or 15 minutes cutting up vegetables in the first place.
I can make that even easier for you if you want.
Sure.
We have Meg and I have a trick for this.
Yeah.
We have a very large, like the popcorn bowl size Tupperware container.
Yeah.
Line the bottom of it with paper towel.
Yep.
Then take an entire head of lettuce.
Yep.
Wash it. Chop the whole thing into salad-sized pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Dump it into the bin. Put a paper towel over top. Close it. Keep it in the fridge. Keeps all week. Then
Really?
all you have
With
to do
the,
is literally
like,
reach your
paper
hand in, grab a handful of already prepped lettuce
Damn.
into the bowl, the
Okay.
rest of your stuff, and you're good to go.
Because I normally have the same problem as Woke and Click, like lettuce goes bad quite quickly, which is why I basically slice it separately as I
Yeah, the paper towels lining the thing help suck the excess moisture out, and so they
sealing
stay
it?
crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this might not be relevant to everyone, but if you are an ADHD chaos creature with the short-term memory of like
Yeah.
a wet sponge like me, and you go and do any of these meal preps, write them down or put it in your phone so that when you put it in your
Yep.
freezer, it isn't just lost forever.
We have a dry erase board on our freezer, which is the date that we bought the produce, or if we cook something, like we hard-boiled the eggs on this date, so
Yeah,
then that way
yeah.
things don't go bad. I'm also a huge proponent of, I feel like a lot of us, I might be speaking for the rest of you, but a lot of us grew up with the thoughts of, oh, if you're buying this vegetable canned or this meat canned, it's not as good. There's been studies that a lot of times if something is canned or frozen, those vegetables are actually put at their prime, and they are actually more nutritious in that way. So if you have someone who has a car, do a big shop, and you've got your pantry stocked for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You touched on something there, though, just a little bit, and they're like, hey, people say this is not as good. You don't need to min-max and try and do, like, the most ideal thing. If you are hitting some of these notes, if you are getting it right some of the time, you are doing a good job.
Fed is best.
Fed is best.
Yep.
Like, that's better than anything else. So don't feel like you can't do it unless you do it perfectly. It's totally fine to just do it hit or miss as you can, as you develop the habits. It's
If
fine.
it works for you, then it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely, probably, if I were in your position, I would start with doing like a 1 week meal prep for a while.
Yeah.
Record the recipes you like. Over time, as you get more confident, you'll be able to start to like do a meal plan or a menu plan and figure out like, you know, how things fit together as you get a bigger repertoire of recipes that you can use. So make sure to write down all the recipes or like preserve all the recipes that you've tried that you really like.
Got a note in my phone.
Yeah, but if you can start from just doing one big cook for the whole week, and if you can live on that, like if you are fine with that and not feeling bored or struggling
Yeah.
to get through the week, or like just deciding to get takeout on Thursday because you're sick of what you've been eating, you can just roll once a week meal prep for perpetuity. You don't have to make it more complicated than that.
Yep. All right. I feel like we covered that one.
Cool. All right.
What else do we got on the question hopper?
Next question. Hi, Night Watch. I just moved away from home with my girlfriend, and it is my first time living without a parent. There's so much I need to do, and it's extremely overwhelming and scary. How do you adapt to such an intense change? P.S. on this one, I'm neurodivergent, and I believe that is making the whole process more difficult.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Because it is, like David just said, a really big change. I mean, like, just the folks in the room here, hands up if you're doing all of your adulting correctly and getting everything done well and aren't making any mistakes. That's what I thought. It's not just you is a real big part of this. Even folks who've been doing it for years, decades, we all are missing stuff, not at our best sometimes, forgetting things, etc. So, like, some of this is you are experiencing, oh, this is new and scary and I have so much to do for the first time, but you may be under the impression that, like, other folks who are older or your parents or your peers are doing things so much better and so much more perfectly. It's the social media thing again. Like, you're only seeing people at their best, right? We're all messing up what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Lists are helpful and habits are helpful. Depending on what flavor of neurodivergent you are, you may find it helpful to have a schedule and decide which things are important and which things are nice to have.
Yep.
And book them accordingly.
Sometimes it's hard to finish tasks when they get so big that they're daunting.
Yep.
So try to do things by time and not by task. So like any amount of progress is progress.
I'm going to spend an hour cleaning rather than I'm going to clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If you're neurodivergent the way I'm neurodivergent, you can do what I do and use your Bluetooth headphones and do phone calls or audiobooks or something like that while you clean. I like talking to people on the phone and kind of body doubling a bit. I'll call a friend and we'll both clean our houses a little bit.
Actually, that and the point before that sort of meld
sorry.
together.
Yeah.
My go-to, especially with cleaning, is I will like pick an album and look at sort of roughly how long that is, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to clean for this album amount of time, and like throw that on, and then you have an automatic timer. You don't have to have something set aside to be like, oh, like okay, I'm gonna go for an hour, gonna go through this. It's sort of like naturally will give you an end part.
Yeah. And you're listening to music you like, so
Hopefully.
Ideally, you should choose an album you like.
I've started doing a thing that is, I tell myself I will put 7 things away. Putting 7 things and leaving it at that. That could be hanging up 7 hangers. That could be doing something significantly more. That could be putting 7 pens away. Like, whatever 7 things to me at the time constitute 7 things, and I find just purely the inertia of that, I end up that like kicks me in the butt to do it.
Yeah.
So I think trying a little bit of like a bunch of different things. Something will stick with you, and that's the thing that will work for you.
One piece of advice that I feel like people often give neurodivergent folks in this case is if you're struggling with the task, break it down into smaller pieces.
Yep.
Which is only half of the advice, and for some reason everybody stops there, and it makes me crazy. The full thing is break it down into steps so tiny that you cannot possibly fail them. If you need to clean your kitchen, the first step is not go and empty the dishwasher. The first step is stand up from where you're sitting. That is the first step, and then you check that off, and then and then I walk to the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's the, like, we are very momentum based, so I got that advice for years. Like, that was one that did not click for me until I saw a cartoon on Twitter like 5 years ago that basically explained this, and I was like, oh, that's what I've been doing wrong. I've only had half the answer.
You mean I'm not just supposed to take my problem and turn it into infinitely more problems?
Yeah.
I'll add to this, just in relation to the feeling overwhelmed part of the question, with any chore or obligation or activity, there are two different strategies you can use.
Yeah.
There's strategy one is just do one thing at a time, right? You don't have to do your whole list at the same time. You can do one thing now, and you've made progress. So that's good. The opposite of that, if it helps with your particular flavor of neurospiciness, is you can set a chore day, and just like, this is my day of the week that I do chores. This is something Meg and I kind of do.
Yeah.
Is Sundays are like our chore day, and so that is the day that we dedicate to going grocery shopping and tidying up the house and cooking and taking out the garbage and doing the recycling. And it's like, we always know it's that day. We have that expectation, and so like, this is one of the things that happens to me, is I get an idea in my head of what I want to do with a day, and then Meg will walk in and be like, hey, we have to do this chore, and it'll just ruin my whole day. Like, it just, because I was like, I had a plan for today, and now my whole plan is ruined. So knowing ahead of time that we're going to be doing chores on Sunday, I don't put a plan in my head for that day.
Yeah.
But I don't feel hard done by, because I got to play on Saturday. Right? Or like, I know I'll have Monday evening to do something. And so that is a way that can help as well.
Yeah. Because chore days don't work for me, but I see them work for a lot of people. I'm at the opposite end.
Yeah.
I do kind of a similar, but not a day. So like, I'm extremely routine based. So for me, it's chores happen in the hour between getting home from work and having dinner. Right? That is chore time. And so long as I do something productive during that time, whatever the most urgent thing on the day is that I feel like I need to do, then I'm good, right?
Yeah.
I've done my productive thing for the day. I've done my adulting. I can have dinner and I can play games in the evening or whatever with no guilt.
Sorry, can you read the question again?
Sure.
I saw a note about it.
The question here was, I just moved away from home with my girlfriend, and
Perfect.
And it's my first time living without a parent, etc., etc.
Yeah. Talk to your partner. Because maybe the home chore that you struggle with the most is something that she might, or they might not. That might not be a thing for them.
Yeah.
I do still live with my mother, and she hates cleaning the bathroom. So the bathroom is my job, and it's because I don't mind to do it. So if there's something that you particularly find is really difficult, talk with your partner. It might be a good way to split the chore load, and then it's both of your shared home together.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, Sandra and I don't even live together, and we do that to a certain degree. Because I will help her out with errands and stuff downtown, because it's harder for her to get down there. And when she's over at my place, she will often just do a quick sweep for me, because I hate sweeping. Just simple stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're your partner in more ways than one.
Yeah, you're a team.
Yep. Anybody got anything else they want to get on that one? Otherwise, I think we could good to move on to the next one. But before we do, I just want to remind folks that there are, I believe, 15 minutes left in the giveaway for the Guild Wars 2 lot from ArenaNet, which has all kinds of goodies. So any donations of $6.02 or multiples thereof in the next 13 minutes and 40 seconds will be entered to win. It has a ton of Guild Wars stuff. There was a statue, there's a vinyl, there's something that hasn't been on sale in 19 years, something that's signed. Basically, if you are a Guild Wars fan in any way, shape, or form, you want to go to desertbus.org and check this out.
Mm-hmm. Or if you want to profit off your local Guild Wars fan in some way or another.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next question that we have here is a little darker. So I'm just going to give a warning out there.
Sure.
This just relating to parental relationships. So the question here is for anyone with difficult relationships with abusive parents, whether you are now low contact or no contact or otherwise, does it get easier to get them out of your head as you get older? I cannot help with this one.
It does. I am 20 years no contact with my father. And yeah, it's It will always sort of creep back at you occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
But less so a situation of a what if.
Yeah.
It's a what if they were different? What if I made a different choice, but you made the choice for you? If the what ifs become too strong, then you know that it's your, like, you would know to reach back out to them. You would know if you would want to try to repair that relationship, because you will go towards it. But if you are not actively doing that, then you have made the right choice for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I tag on talk therapy can help a lot of folks, because you can talk through and work through and process a bunch of your own feelings about it, and the more that you're able to process those, the more you're able to put them behind you, and the less you will think of it yourself as well, and it'll come up. I'm not no contact, but I am definitely lower contact with a lot of my family, because we're just very different. Anyone else have anything they want to tag on for that one? Please.
Agree. It'll come up in your head. You'll also, especially if you've got you're going to have the negative voices in your head too, that'll pop up randomly. So highly recommend, just like Andrew said, talk therapy.
Yep.
Super important. Taking time and kind of like working through that.
Yeah.
So, and
This may not apply to your specific situation, because again, we're talking about abusive and no contact, but this is tangentially related, if folks will stick with me for a second. But if you have a difficult relationship with your family, and in particular you find that they often cross your boundaries, one thing that I have personally had a lot of success with is basically just removing myself from the situation. I have a good example would be years ago, I let my folks know, I was like, hey, I don't want y'all to be bothering me anymore about going back to school. I'm not going back to school, it's my business, if I choose to, I'll choose to, but I don't want passive aggressive comments all the time. If they happen again, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, I'm not going to get angry or anything, but I am going to get up from wherever we are, and I'm going to thank you for your time, and I'm going to say, hey, that was a bit of a boundary cross, and I'm going to go home. And this is very difficult to do, but you then do exactly that. Which I did like a month or two later in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner, when my parents were getting really passive aggressive and started harping on the school thing, and I was just like, nope, hey, we talked about this, I let you know what was going on, this is hurtful, it was really nice to see y'all, I'm going home, I'll see you at the next thing. And I only had to do that a couple of times before they started changing their behavior. You may not get an apology, but you will get better behavior, because a lot of the times they want to see you more than you want to see them, so you can just withhold your own time and say like, no, if you're not going to treat me well, I won't be there. See you tomorrow. And just be chill about it, do not get in a fight, do not get angry, do not yell at them. It's just, you're calm, you're collected, you're removing yourself from a bad situation. It works.
One other thing, and this is kind of a skewing of how it's asked, but as I have gotten older, it is easier for me to know what my boundaries are.
Yeah.
So not the age of like how long you've been apart from them, but like as I am older, I am more willing to be like, put my foot down and be like, no, this is it, we're good, I'm out.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So that also comes along with age.
Yeah, because when we're younger, we often don't realize what things are a boundary cross. Or like, oh, that's what that feeling is when this makes me feel really uncomfortable and bad, and I'm tired and stressed, and I'm thinking about it for days, kind of thing. It's somebody really crossed a boundary with me, and it harmed me, but I didn't have the words for it yet when I was like 16 or 22, kind of thing.
I think after having kids too, that was a huge change for me. Like, and that's just being older. I'm very low in contact with one parent, and my other parent knows not to cross any of those boundaries. And if we're talking and the kids want to talk, if a single word starts getting said out of place that sounds a little like judgy or anything in front of the kids, they know the phone's getting hung up right away. There's not going to be, there's no other chance. That's it. So
Yeah.
it has quelled the parent that's low contact, that we know not to say any of those things. So
And if you're young, you've probably started to find some of your found family. Keep finding them. Keep connecting with those folks and growing with them, and you'll find more throughout your life. Yeah.
Cool.
What else we got? I think maybe one more. And
One
let's move
more
on.
tonight, and then we'll have the giveaway to do. So, the next question we've got here is: as someone, 24, femmish, entering the workforce as a big functional adult and not a teenage schmuck for the first time, how do you develop a professional sense of style that still feels like you? I'm slowly accumulating a collection of business casual stuff, but it always feels like I'm impersonating someone with decades more experience, and it never really feels like me. Contextual note, I'm planning on working as a librarian. Any advice would be lovely. Thank you for all you do. I think you have a very particular answer for this.
Yeah, I was going to say other people are going to have to answer this one. Because at the current moment, my system is I work in tech, so I just dress like I feel like it. And I accept the fact that in some cases it may be minorly career limiting to me that I am not wearing a suit or wearing a business casual thing. But like, for context, I am a senior engineering manager that does platform and SRE work. So I do a decent amount of work with vendors and conferences and other stuff. And I dress exactly like you see me here. That is not helpful advice.
Yeah.
But finding, if you're able to, as you grow, when you're able to find work in an industry where you can do that, that is one way to solve it because you can close that gap out.
Yeah.
But
I have an answer here. Sorry, go ahead.
for developing a more professional wardrobe for this, I will have to defer to the other folks in the room, such as Matt, and I believe Corey, you're here for this one too.
Great. So for me, when I was around 24-ish, I too spent a lot of time wondering about this and trying to develop a personal style, and it was not entirely successful for me at the time because, like you, I often felt like I was cosplaying, or I just dressed like terribly. But like even when I was trying to dress well, the fits weren't good. It was just not something that I was very good at, and I never really felt like I had the confidence to adopt like a style. So it was just a matter of like getting through the day in store-bought, khaki pants and dress shirts. I too have since moved into tech and gaming, so the dress codes are not very restrictive. But my ultimate solution to this was to develop a uniform. You may have noticed that I have shown up to Desert Bus every day this week in a V-neck cashmere sweater with a V-neck t-shirt and either a pair of nice jeans or a pair of khakis, which don't fit very well anymore. And I'm wearing shoes that typically, they don't today, but often will match the color of my shoes to my V-neck shirt. I have to put no thought into this. And this, for my industry at least, this is fine. Yeah. And this actually would pass in any business casual environment that leans more casual than business.
Yeah.
Something like this will pass. And so my answer to this was find something that you're comfortable in, that looks good, that you feel comfortable in, that hits the line of what they're looking for, something that will pass the dress code, and then just buy 7 of them and wear it every day.
I was just about to say, find something that you like and buy it in every color you like.
Yep.
Yeah, I own 4 of these sweaters, and I own 12 or 13 of these t-shirts.
While Matt was talking, I remembered, go through your closet, find the pieces that you already own that you like, and see what brand those are, and then go see what else that they have for sale. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Corey, you had something for this.
Yeah, so I work in live events, frequently in hotels that are very nice, that require suit and ties sometimes. I just flew here from working at a show in the Four Seasons. So I have a dress standard that I have to, achieve to not be instantly kicked out of the building.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also work in an industry where the show uniform is all black. And I, as the person leading crews, generally want to be hey, where's Corey in the room with people wearing all black? right? So part of my style at this point was eliminating black as a color from my wardrobe as much as I could.
Same.
And then, yeah, I've been with color, like finding fun ways of like elevating that to a business casual. So I have a purple suit jacket, for example. I have blue suit jackets. One of the things that I have done is I own like 6 of these, and I have them in every suit jacket color that I own currently.
And it's a great hat.
And so, like, in theory, this hat is probably not against, or is probably against the Four Seasons dress code, but when you style match it with a suit jacket, and you're wearing a outer collar, all of a sudden everybody's like, wow, that's cool, and you get away with it, right? So there's a lot of, like, color coordinating is a great way of, getting past the line, because people are just like, oh wow, that's all one uniform thing.
It makes you look put together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an easy shortcut to
If
that.
there's one thing that the tech industry has done right over the past 20 years, it's eliminating the IBM suit uniform for business.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here, you go first.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I also, my normal day-to-day, I am business casual as well, right? I work in a corporate office for a restaurant company, and everyone is supposed to be business casual. But you better bet that I have a whole drawer full of black polos and a whole closet full of black slacks. And really I think there's 2 parts to the question. There's it feels like I'm cosplaying, and some of that's just imposter syndrome, right? You're going into your first job, everyone feels that. And in a few years, you're probably going to wake up and go, oh no, this is my look, right? Like it will grow on you to a certain extent, but find a way to make it fun. My drawer of black polos, I've got an N7 polo, and I've got like a Doctor Who unit logo polo, like all sorts of just fun stuff, just little bits that fits within the dress code that can make it your own, right?
That actually, it leads in perfectly. I have never seen a librarian that doesn't have the coolest accessories on the planet.
Yes.
Like, a femme librarian, what's it like being Evie from The Mummy? Like lean into it. Like, if you find someone whose style that you like, go on a Pinterest board and filter out the AI people on Pinterest, but, find something that you like. And also, I think that a thing that a lot of people think about is, I have to wake up tomorrow and have a new wardrobe. Buy your pieces slowly.
You build it piece by piece.
Thrift. Because that will make it that you are finding clothes that feel more like you, because you're not waking up with one closet one day and one closet the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the meantime, you know what? Okay, you have to wear the black turtleneck and the black skirt, and maybe that's not your style, but it's work appropriate. Then put on the Doctor Who pin, put on the, do the little tweaks, because you're a librarian, and that means that you're the coolest person on the planet. So
Totally.
Yeah.
And exactly that. I mean, obviously you can't go with one outfit that you like and wear it every day. But what I did when I was first starting is like, okay, I need business casual, is just buy a bunch of something cheap that fits you okay, with the expectation that you are going to replace these as soon as you can. Right? You need something to wear, but now you can actually start looking for fun stuff, right?
Exactly.
The one additional thing I'd like to add is that easily 50% of looking good is fit.
Yep.
You can, if you can afford it, get your stuff tailored. If you can't afford it, just try to buy something that fits you as well as you possibly can.
get a belt.
Get a belt.
Yes.
Have a black belt and a brown belt to match it with your shoes.
Learn karate.
But especially, I don't know. Again, I feel like I keep leaning in on the especially for men, for masculine presenting people. There has been a real downslide generally in how people dress for fit. I don't mean this in an incredibly disparaging way, but it's all cargo shorts and printed T-shirts. Get your stuff taken in. You can get your shirts taken in. You can get a T-shirt taken in. You can get a dress shirt taken in.
I think that's often what it is when you're looking at a photo of someone who looks really put together, and you're like, I have clothes that are similar to that. Why do they look so good? And I just kind of...
It's because
It's because
been
it's been
They fit.
fitted. Yeah, they
it's
fit.
fitted for that.
And it could probably be less expensive than you think it is.
Yes.
Depending on what
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
There's a place nearby where we are where I go to get my things tailored, and it's $10 for a. I had my tuxedo,
Tuxedo.
properly taken in and adjusted, and that was $20.
Yeah, you can get a made-to-measure suit for not much more than an off-the-rack suit,
Yep.
if you're in the sort of like low mid-range. So there's lots of things you can do to
Lots of
help make the
options.
clothes that you own look better on you than they do now. And this goes out to men especially, because men are quite stereotypically bad at taking pride in how they look.
We're not supposed to care.
We're not supposed to care. But this goes out for both mask presenting and femme presenting people. You can all go to the tailor. Tailor is just as happy to see you and to make you look great. I did not do that for anything I'm wearing. So please do as I say and not as I do.
Yeah.
Well, for a realistic example, jeans. I'm into the jeans now. But for the jeans I had to get, for the size they needed to be for my waist, the legs were comically long. Unwearably long. And so I have two options. I can roll them up until they look like a donut around my ankles. Or I can go in and get them hemmed up.
Yep.
And it's like $10.
Yeah.
And then I have something that fits my leg all the way down to where I couldn't get it off the rack. It's either too long or too short, and I look like a clown.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're rolling it up, you only ever really want one.
Yeah, one cuff.
Yeah.
Show off that that selvage if you got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Jeez, now you're calling me out. I'm not wearing rolled up pants today, but I do.
No.
I do 3. So I don't take the hem. I fold the hem in again.
Yeah.
But I try to keep my cuff like really, really tight.
Yeah,
So
that's a different look.
Your crime is the putting the belt underneath the patch.
oh yes, 100%. I'm calling me out again, Ian. I'm even doing it right now.
And now that we are just devolving into
Yes,
calling
now
each
it's
other
fine.
out
Now
instead of
that's it.
giving
We still have
advice.
4 seconds left on the cooldown, so our
Yeah.
timing is perfect.
Well, why don't we call that the end of this episode of Let's Rap Teens?